Hello and welcome to my podcast, Up Your Total Glow, your podcast for your body, mind and soul, to support, guide and empower you to uncover the most glowing, healthiest and feel-good version of you. I am super excited that you are here because if you ask me, there's nothing that looks and feels better. Today I've got another very special guest for you. Today I'm speaking with English Goldsborough, who is a board-certified functional nutritional therapy practitioner who has specialized in helping couples to conceive. English is super passionate about her work, and we speak about common underlying causes of infertility. We speak about the role of nutrition and lifestyle and stress in one's ability to conceive. We are speaking about so much more. English is absolutely amazing. And if you are planning to get pregnant, or maybe simply to live your healthiest life, this is a total must listen for you. Enjoy. Hi, beautiful English. I'm super excited that you are here with me today and that you took the time, to be on this podcast. Thank you so much. How are you?
I'm good, Ruth, and I am very excited to be here as well.
Would you like to just give us a little introduction about yourself?
Sure. How far back do we want to go? We've got a whole lifetime. So my name's English. I run the Nourishing Tree based in America, but see clients all over. Functional nutritional therapy practitioner, board certified in holistic nutrition, which, none of that may mean necessarily anything particular and to anybody. But really what I do is I help couples conceive babies as naturally as possible with food and diet and that kind of thing. Originally was a school counselor, but didn't find that necessarily fit. I don't know what the school system is over there, but here the politics with the teachers and the school board, and it wasn't a game I wanted to play. It wasn't, it just wasn't for me, and it takes a special person for that. Switched gears and went into nutrition, and I've just been adding more and more knowledge as I go.
Oh, I love it. And I can so relate to this, diving into nutrition and then just adding more and more knowledge and learning and loving it. And I can see it in your face and hear it in your voice. And I believe that you are very passionate about what you do, because I know for myself, we can't do what we do if we are not passionate about it, if we don't have this fire within us. So I would really like to know, where does your passion come from? What is driving you?
Probably, a few different things. So the fertility aspect that was driving me, at least originally, was seeing so many friends and family members going through infertility. And I would hear that they would go to their doctors and it wouldn't work, and they would just be given the same plan again. And okay, we're doing this again. We're spending all this money and going through the procedures. And it always struck me as a little odd. And nothing was really changing. They were always just told it's a numbers game. Just keep trying and trying, and which, okay, but that didn't necessarily feel right. And then I came across a few different books that were going over just the basics of nutrition and how you should eat healthy fats and not eat a lot of whole grains and the pesticides that are sprayed on things. And it was just so different than what I had grown up eating, but it made so much sense to me as far as all these diseases we see aren't improving with the diet recommendations that the government is giving us.
Right.
Right. So it was like, all right, there's something here. And then you kind of follow the money, and then you go down the rabbit holes and conspiracies that turn out to be true.
Yeah, so with you.
Yeah. So then, I think I just married those two things together, right? Like this deep desire to help those around me get results. I think I was just kind of born a natural leader. Oldest of 6. So the shepherding and stuff it just comes natural. So that I felt like so many people had been wronged and there was a better way. And then you come across nutrition books that say you can improve fertility with the right diet. It was like light bulb moment. This has to be what I want to do.
Beautiful.
I didn't. Yeah. So I signed up to go back to school. I didn't exactly know at the time how I was going to help these couples, but I knew it was possible and I knew I would figure it out. So I just dove right in. Yeah. And I knew there was going to be a way and that school was going to help me kind of figure that out. Right. So I didn't need to know how, just what. And here I am.
I love it. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I really like it. I also believe, if we really lead with our heart and then with our experience, it's so much more powerful than anything else. So I totally love it. Have you got children of your own?
I don't, not yet. Definitely using myself to break the stigma of, once you hit 35, your fertility just hits the garbage, right? I mean, I think you go to the doctor and they say, oh, now you're geriatric. And it's so silly because if we're taking care of our bodies and stuff like that, you can have babies into your 40s easily.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because also we know how we can actually turn our biological clock back, or how we can really, affect our epigenetic makeup, so yes, I'm totally with you that this is definitely not the total truth. And depends really on how we live and what we do.
Yes. And okay, maybe if we're looking at the IVF space, that doesn't do anything to improve your health anyways, they're just retrieving eggs and fertilizing them and then transferring them back in. There's nothing health improving about that for either partner. So sure, with that population, we probably do see a decline in fertility, but that's because we didn't do any, undamaging of the things that were going on. I have been preparing for pregnancy should we decide, just because of all the knowledge I got, right? So I came home one day and I was like, okay, look, if we are going to have children, when do you think we would have them? Because I'm a planner. I like to plan my life out. And I know you can't, we get it. We can't necessarily plan out when we're going to get pregnant. In this space, I know that for sure, but I would like to at least prepare my body long in advance, the nutrient stores and the hormone balancing, years and years and years of hormonal birth control use that I'm, undoing the damage of that. So the plan was on my 35th birthday, which is 6 months away. So
how exciting.
Keep you updated on whether that goes, whether we go through with that or not. It feels like a scary decision, but
we have to plan another interview then.
You can see if,
how things are.
I can plan in advance, but there might be a lot of bumps in the road, or there might not.
I like how you say, well, you can't plan these things, because just referring to my own 2 stories. So I have 2 children and I definitely wanted children. They are absolutely, children that I wanted, but they were both beautiful accidents at that time. And I had always sort of put in my head, well, my babies have to be born in summer because I'm a winter baby. And of course, because I didn't really quite get the planning, they are both born around my birthday in winter. So it's like, it's my oldest daughter's birthday and it's mine, and my husband is like, oh my goodness, what
all the birthdays.
So much about planning. But you were saying you preparing yourself, or you have prepared yourself for a while, just for the case if you should decide, yes, we want to do it. So what does this mean? How are you preparing yourself? And also, I feel you know, if we are so healthy that we can conceive, I think, you know, this is preparing us to be healthy in general, to balance all our hormones, to make sure our gut is healthy. So I think maybe we should all live that way always. Not that, you know, don't get me wrong, I'm done with, you know, having more babies. But I think it's a rejuvenation thinking. You know, if we keep our bodies rejuvenated all the time and help ourselves to regenerate, that's such a beautiful approach. And that's what I'm really passionate about. So maybe you could tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah. I mean, I think you hit on a good point with, if we're preparing for fertility, all the other things of health come together too. Because fertility really is this outside thing where every other part of your body has to be healthy, or the body just instinctively tries to shut down fertility because it knows it's not the right time. And there's outliers, you know, of those people you see and you're like, how did they get pregnant?
Yeah.
that are not treating themselves very well. But for the most part, you know, the body's very smart. Which is also, when I went into this, I didn't realize at the time I was going to need to be an expert on everything, like gut health and thyroid health and molds and metals and stress management.
Yes.
So it's expanded my knowledge so greatly, which is cool because jack of all trades, kind of. For me personally, you know, we have totally cleaned up the diet, remove the food sensitivities, remove the chemicals. We use clean products in our house. I've been taking, you know, like encapsulated liver pills and making sure my magnesium stores are great. Just making sure that me as a total person is really healthy and happy. And I just feel like I'm, you know, flowing through life really well. I'm sleeping well and all of those things. Everything that I can. I mean, we get the bumps in the road, you know, maybe the E. coli that comes along kind of throws things off, right?
Sure.
But just being the best version of myself that I can be.
Yeah, beautiful. I absolutely love that. So maybe let's dive a little bit into underlying causes when couples can't get pregnant. So what, in your experiences, are underlying causes there?
Yeah, so it could be as simple as improper diet, following, you know, that food pyramid that we got that says to eliminate fats and eat lots of whole grains and gluten, and especially over here in America where our gluten is heavily sprayed with glyphosate. And the corn and the soy and the monocropping. I would love to come over to Europe and eat some bread and see the difference, because it just so differently. I mean, our restrictions over here are so much more lax than other countries. It's alarming. So it could really be something as simple as they're not getting the right nutrients. Because I've seen a lot of couples that just switch up their diet and 2 months later, after 10 years of not being able to ever get pregnant, it happens for them because they're the inflammatory foods and, you know, they're just not making the right hormones. So beyond that, you know, because a lot of people switch up their diet, it still doesn't necessarily get them the results they want. So then we're looking into, you know, thyroid function, gut dysfunction, toxins, chemicals, heavy metals, mold, stress. And when I say stress, I don't mean just like, oh, I'm so stressed out. The endogenous stress, right? The things in the body that are creating internal stress, you know, immune dysfunction, autoimmune diseases, so many different things that compile together to just give us, you know, not necessarily the right conditions for conceiving a baby.
Totally agreed. Totally agreed. And I feel as we evolve as a world and also ourselves as people, it gets trickier and trickier because our speed at which we are operating and living and doing is crazy. I feel there's constant noise around us and in us, and we are pushing and pushing more, and this can't be healthy for, you know, being all chilled and well nourished and able to conceive. That's how it feels to me. And obviously there are a lot of disorders like autoimmune disorders and cancer. All these things are really on the rise, which I find very concerning. And as you said, yes, has to do with, how are we living, what are we putting also in our soils, what are we eating. But there's this whole rushed lifestyle and performing better and more, which I feel takes another toll of us. So what would you say to couples now that would like to conceive and haven't been able for a while? So is there kind of a certain routine, or is there a plan that you have that they can follow, or what would you just advise, or what are your tips?
Yeah, so I think I like to sit down with them and see, how long have we been trying? What are your symptoms? Because, symptoms can sometimes lead us in the direction of how deep we need to dig.
Yeah.
We have this whole arsenal of testing that we can do.
Yeah.
Do we do it all, though, if we don't need it? There can be a benefit to it just because we can check things off. We can know that's not an issue for us. Okay, cool. We can put that to the side and not have to wonder. Because if we were just doing this for health, we've got time. We can do a little bit, come back, do a little bit more.
Yeah.
But when we're talking fertility, sometimes there's just this tight timeline and people have been trying for so long. So it kind of leads us in the direction of what testing we might need. We're always going to start with the nutritional basics, getting that in line, getting digestion, really worked on, because once we get digestion working properly, there's a chance that anything that's been growing in the gut is just going to naturally work its way out.
Yeah.
Our hormones can regulate because the conversion's happening in the gut for a lot of thyroid hormones, and neurotransmitters for the brain get created in the gut. So gut, number one with nutrition for sure. And then, we'll add on the other things based on, what we kind of discover that might need to be investigated. Going organic, non-GMO, those kind of things.
Yeah. So you would always first start with the nutrition and then also have a look at the lifestyle, or?
Yes. So I would say the nutrition piece, because there are some people that have come to me and said, I don't want to change my diet, but I'll take all the supplements that you tell me to. I'll take 50 of them. And I'm like, great. But that is only going to get you so far. And I love the enthusiasm of that. But if you're eating like Doritos and Diet Mountain Dew and bean soup all day long and just eating out of a vending machine, we cannot undo that damage no matter how many supplements you're taking. I mean, it's because you eat multiple times a day, and it is just everything. So some people will try to bargain with how far they take the nutrition changes, and that's up to them. That's not up to me.
Yeah.
But yes, definitely switching up the nutrition is imperative for anything. Lifestyle for sure, because same thing as like eating the foods that are inflammatory. If we're putting lotion on our body every day that's chemical filled, or drinking tap water that has a bunch of chemicals in it, that's going to do just as much damage. So that's in the mindset work.
Yeah.
For everybody, at least journaling, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I find it super interesting what you say, because I am so often confronted with clients who come to me and say, I want to lose weight, give me a shake, give me a pill. What do I have to do? And I'm like, sorry, but it doesn't work that way. And it's really, for me, it's disheartening to see that so many aren't open to really nurture and nourish their bodies. I do feel, though, if it's for someone else, so if it's for their children, if they have another reason outside of themselves, especially when I'm working with women, if they realized, okay, I need more energy to be switched on with my children, they are somehow more inclined to change, which is really interesting that they first need, you know, don't have this intrinsic love for themselves, but have to find it outside of them. So I'm thinking maybe this is a little bit different in your case, because obviously they want to create life. So
Yeah.
It's something more outside, but I don't know, just
Yeah.
a thought.
But I think there are times where there's still that disconnect. You know, I think there's still that disconnect where they don't, and it's not any fault of their own. They just haven't found the information. They haven't been told. They go to the doctor and the doctor doesn't give them this information that to create life, both partners need to nourish their bodies. Their bodies need to feel safe and have what they need. And that doesn't get talked about. They just are told it's a hormone issue. And hormone issues are really symptoms of other things, right? So they're told it's a hormone issue. We'll just circumvent it. We'll just do the procedures. So they don't only not nourish themselves, but they don't, you know, more gets taken away with those procedures, I guess, you know, like they're getting pumped full of all these hormones and stuff. So there is still somewhat of a disconnect there in the community. Now, the way I would say most of the couples that come to me, they've come to the light of that. So they see it, but I wish more people understood that creating life, you need to have a good body yourself too.
Yeah. And this is another question I would have or wanted to ask. How, you know, aware are your clients when they are coming to you of this connection, that they actually, it starts with them, how they eat, how they live, all this lifestyle, this nutrition, because I do think the society in general creates this image of, well, if you are not conceiving, there's something wrong with you. It's like there's the disease going on, or you don't have enough of something, or your husband doesn't have enough of something, or I don't know, but it's not like, and this is like an image of, there's something wrong, there's something missing, instead of, oh no, we are actually whole people, but maybe there's an imbalance, and okay, let's find out what can we do to create balance again. So that's very much my approach. And I just think it's very disheartening if you want a baby. Or I have had a client, she had wanted a baby for years and years. She's not actually that old, but it just was her deepest desire. Yet she was so unkind to her own body and was dieting and really unhealthy. And luckily she was open enough to just switch her whole diet around, and it took us 2 years. And I'm by no means the expert like you are, but I just know what it's about, creating balance. And she stopped trying. She was just really trying to focus on, you know, getting healthy within herself and cleaning her gut, cleaning her hormones. That's just what you said. And she fell pregnant without even trying.
Good for her.
This is my miracle baby.
Yeah.
I felt so proud. I don't know. That was just such a beautiful experience. So I just can only imagine how you must feel when you help, you know, all these couples to conceive, because it can feel really desperate. And like I said before, that there's something wrong with me, that I'm not enough, that I'm not good enough, I don't know what, and that we are broken, that we are unhealthy. And I think that's really a difficult place to be in. What are your thoughts there?
It is. And I don't think the label of infertile helps that at all, because maybe there's a small help with getting insurance coverage with it. You know, I guess you probably have to have a label to get the coverage for the procedures, but it's inaccurate, you know, to label these couples as being infertile. They're not infertile. A small percentage of people, sure. I mean, that there are conditions that do cause that.
Yeah.
But for the most part, these couples are not infertile.
Yeah.
They're just facing challenges that are impeding their fertility. Yeah. So they get this label and they just feel so down on themselves. Yeah. You know, like you said, they just feel broken, like there's something wrong with them, that they've done something wrong.
Yeah.
And it couldn't be farther from the truth. But pulling people out of that, it takes a lot of convincing and courage on their part just to even explore these other avenues, so when they come to me, I think there's this guarded sense of hope. They want hope again, but they're kind of guarded because they've tried all the other things that they were told to do. They've done the procedures and they just think, none of that worked. Why is this going to work? So if they can, I just say it's fine. If you don't wholeheartedly believe me, I just need you to believe me a tiny bit. Just at the very least, we're going to improve your health, and that should be, that's a good thing. Anyways, give me a little bit of room. Let's give this a try. And then, they get pregnant. It's like, oh my gosh, your program works. It's like, I
How
knew
did you do this? Why?
I know it does, or I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
And then this, in the same way, there is, always this little thing over my head that's like, oh, do I know what I'm doing? Yeah. And I know I do.
Yeah. No, I know.
But there's so much riding on it for these couples that I take that upon myself because we're creating new life.
Yeah.
And I know that they want it so deeply and so desperately that I don't want to fail them, even though there are no guarantees on anything in life. So I think a lot of times I do get the couples that have tried all the other things.
Yeah.
And it didn't work. Where it's like, oh, had I been able to find you before all this, maybe we could have not gone down that road. Maybe you still would have. I don't know, because they go to the doctor and the doctor straight up tells them that what we do doesn't work.
I know.
So
it's crazy in itself. Yeah.
Uh,
and I can so relate. I can so relate to this as well, because I also feel I get all the clients who have tried everything and who are so desperate because there are now so many things not working in their bodies that I'm their last resort. And I'm also thinking, oh, it would have been so much easier if you had just come a few years earlier. I mean, we can, still do so much, but you could have saved so much heartache and hardship on your bodies. But yeah, it is what it is. But I can totally relate to this. So why do you think is it that it's mostly the women who take upon them this role of being infertile and not the man? It's usually the women who, oh, there's something wrong with me, I can't conceive. And what's going on there?
I think there's multiple parts. Part is just, back to the doctors and the clinics and things like that. We've been lowering these standards for sperm parameters. If we look back before the industrialization of the food industry, I mean, men's sperm was so much, quote unquote, better than it is now.
Yeah.
And we've just been lowering the standards.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a disservice to men anyways. And then these men go into these fertility clinics, they get the semen analysis. Things aren't great on there, even for the low standards we have now. And they're just told, there's nothing you can do. It is what it is. We'll just do these procedures. Men's fertility is just it, which could not be farther from the truth.
Yeah, agreed.
So, the man's getting from this authority figure, they're being told there's nothing you can do. So they go home and think, nothing I can do. It's fine. And then I think on the female side, because she's going to be carrying the baby, there's just this thought that it's all on you, when 50% of miscarriages are still male factor, but it doesn't feel like that. It feels like it's on you because it's your body and you are the one carrying the baby, and there's probably a mothering factor to it, this just innate desire to mother.
Oh, that's so really sad. Yeah.
It's because it's 50% the other partner. I mean, this is an equal split game. But
and I guess, this then also elevates so much the stress the couple, or maybe more the female, puts on herself. And what are your thoughts on stress? How much is that impacting one's ability to conceive?
Yes, a whole lot, which everybody hates to hear that, because they hear, oh, just relax and then you'll get pregnant, because there are these people who, when they stop trying, it does happen, right? So it does, because they did stop worrying about it. but it's not that simple, right? We know it's not like, oh, just relax and you're going to get pregnant.
Yeah, no.
You're going to get punched for saying that. But there's so many different types of stress, and each person can only handle so much. So, if there's things we can't control that are stressing us, we do need to try to take away the things that we can control that are, adding to that stress bucket that we have. Because it releases different hormones in the body. And when those hormones get released, the brain gets the signal that we're in the middle of a war. We cannot conceive right now. Whether it's traffic or a boss or a fight with our spouse or a gut infection, whatever it is, the brain knows, nope, this isn't the right time. I mean, it could be under eating, over exercising.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And I think with like the male partner stuff, it creates strain in the marriage. If the male partner is being told there's nothing they can do, but there is. And he just thinks, okay, not on me anymore. But the wife wants him to participate. He doesn't want to participate. They're still not getting pregnant. So there's this thought of, what if he participated and he had changed some things? Would we be where we want to be right now?
Yeah.
So there's so much stress on yourself and on the marriage, and it's a whole
possibly
thing.
From outside, because friends are asking, and then they might get pregnant, and maybe mother-in-law or father-in-law, I don't know.
I did a consultation with a sweet woman the other day, who during the consultation, her family was kind of in the distance. They weren't necessarily within hearing distance, but they knew what call she was on. And she made a comment that they were laughing at her because they had all gotten, she was like, oh, they think I'm silly. They all got pregnant so easy. They don't understand. I'm like,
that's
even your own family, like I don't think they understood the feelings they were probably instilling in her with that. But to laugh at her, to be on this call with me, and just because we're raw on this call too, they're going through their health history and their losses, and
of course
it's such a tender time, and to have the family on looking like that, I wanted to jump through the screen and like just wring that family's neck, be tender horrible with her.
And are there any habits or, I don't know, rhythms in the day, anything that you would suggest that could help against the stress or support the whole conceiving process? I don't know. I'm just a person who loves habits and routines. For me, this really works, and it keeps me sane. And
same.
So is there something that you do or that you suggest?
So personally for me, I'm still working on this. I mean, I found the other day, I realized that in the time it takes my printer that's right behind me to print a document, I try to answer an email or update a client file, that whole go, get all the things in. So it's a work in progress with me as well. But I think, if we can set some boundaries, and when we get up in the morning, don't get on social media, don't start checking your email, wait till you get to work. Once you leave work, no more checking those things. Stay off social media.
While we are talking about it, best timing. That was perfect.
I know, it's perfect. Google listing. Oh man, they call all the time. But yeah, leave it at work. That's a landline. I can leave that here. Just, in setting those boundaries as far as taking the things out of your life that you can kind of, because we are, and you had alluded to it before, just the technology age that we're in, trying to get more done, get more in, go.
Yeah.
I find myself sometimes holding my breath when I'm trying to get a lot of tasks done.
Yes.
And that in and of itself, we're not breathing properly. We're not getting the nutrients to the body.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And what are your thoughts on meditation or something like that?
So for me, I've been a little resistant to it, and I think that means I need it.
We say that.
Yeah, I'm probably the person that needs it, because slow yoga and meditation just feels like, oh gosh, what am I doing? I think it's wonderful, even if it's just short periods of time, right? Absolutely. Or walking meditation. There's so many different types. I think we immediately just think of the long hour-long breath sessions. And there's so many other types of meditation that can be more enjoyable if that's your thing.
Absolutely. I love that. I love what you said because I can so much relate. Obviously, I'm a yoga teacher as well. So meditation should be something that comes to me naturally, and it totally didn't. It just didn't. I was trying and I was like, I think really the worst case scenario, I was sitting there and had like all these to-do lists in my head. I was thinking like, I can't sit here, I've got like, I was like very at ease and probably not breathing at all. Just 5 minutes at a time. And I was trying and going at it again and again. I was thinking, I can't, keep space in my head or not have thoughts. It was just really bad and horrible. And I felt like, I'm not good at this. And I don't know. But I'm pretty stubborn. And also, obviously, I'm getting older. So maybe with age, I don't know, get more self-loving or have less resistance or more wise. I don't know, all of it. And at some point I realized maybe do it at a time where you don't feel quite so stressed, or maybe in the evening when you are tired, and something happened, and it is actually truly a beautiful experience. But I can really relate to the, no, it's not for me. And so I was very resistant, and I think, as you said, I really needed it the most. But I love meditation now, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. How long does it take in your experience for a couple to conceive when they come working with you?
Yes. Yeah. Right. I mean, I've had wildly quick success with a lot of couples.
I'm not surprised.
2 months. Yeah. I mean, 2 months but the caveat to that is if the couple is willing to wait and not try for about 3 months, I'd honestly recommend that. And nobody believes you, right? They come to you and they're like, I've been trying for 10 years. No, it's not going to happen that quick. And they just keep trying. And then it happens. And, maybe we didn't have enough time to get the sperm, in a better place, or the eggs in a better place, or the inflammation down. So I think the risk of loss is a little bit higher there because the body hasn't really figured out the full tune of things. So it can happen quickly and it can be super successful. So let's just go with, I think 3 months is a good time frame because it can happen that quick, and that gives your body a good enough time to really kind of reset.
I love that. And what I also love about your work and what's so important to me is that it's so empowering, that we are not giving our power away, but we are actually stepping into our power because, hey, yes, with your guidance and with your support, but they can, heal their body or rebalance their body or whatever is going on there. And isn't that powerful and so beautiful and I just wish I had known this earlier or learned this earlier. I mean, you are super young. How great that you know this already. But for me, it took such a long time because it's just such a powerful and beautiful place to be in. For me, there's really nothing more beautiful. And I think that's just magic. What are your thoughts there?
Yes. Anytime a client's like, oh, you changed my life. I know I did not. You changed your own life. I mean, maybe I had the plan, but it's not, it's not a novel idea. I'm just helping you get where you need to be. You did the work.
Yeah.
It's totally empowering for them.
Yeah. And it's
they
so
don't
different.
have to rely on everything else. They can do it. Their body can do it.
And I think it's so different or the opposite to what the healthcare is the wrong word, the care system is telling us, and also these couples, because they say, well, there's nothing you can do, or maybe I try IVF, but what is that? That's also giving the power away because it's just, try. It's a miss and hit, is it? I don't know. I don't understand much about it, but for me, it's not this lovingly natural rebalancing situation, which I don't know why this would be. Yes, of course, if nothing else works, but why wouldn't we first try to heal? I don't know. Okay, So if I understood you correctly,
Mhm.
you are offering your services online. So
Yep,
anyone can take you
absolutely.
up on this. And
Yes.
have you got any special programs or
Oh,
tell us all
yeah.
about you. Everyone
Yes.
needs to know.
Well, my most exciting thing that I love to do is I can get both couples on board, right? So we're not kind of wasting any time. We're getting both healthier in the right space. And I actually have a money back program.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
So, full disclosure, nothing is guaranteed in life, right? Nobody can guarantee 100% anything. But what I do guarantee is that if you're not pregnant within a year of us working together, you get $5,000 back from
Oh,
our work
wow.
together. So
I love that.
that's how confident, this works.
Yeah.
Give me a chance, give this work a chance. See where it goes.
I love that. And we are so aligned because I'm the same. I also have a money back guarantee.
Yeah, I love that.
Because, there is no one who, and for you, I'm sure the same, who doesn't feel better once they do the work with you,
Yeah.
and usually, I would be surprised if no one falls pregnant with you. But even then, I think, they are probably in so much of a healthier, better place. Maybe they have also then learned about themselves, or actually all I needed is more self-love. I don't really want this baby anymore. I don't know, but I'm sure there's so much healing in the whole journey that, I love that. That's absolutely beautiful. So where can people find you?
Yep. So super easily on Instagram at Nourishing Tree Lou. And then my website is thenourishingtreelouisville.com.
Beautiful. And I will put all of this into the show notes. Amazing. And if could you give just a few last thoughts or a few take-home messages for the listeners?
So I would say to remind yourself that your body is capable. It can do incredible things on its own if we just supply it with what it needs. And if you have a gut instinct or a little inkling in your body that says, I don't know if this is right, I want to go explore something else, follow it. Keep exploring. You don't know what you're going to find. Yeah.
Beautiful. I love this. Oh, I think the work that you are doing is absolutely amazing. I'm a total fan. I am.
Thank you.
You are amazing. I think everyone needs to know about you. And if someone is listening who would like to conceive or would like to find a more natural, more empowering way how they can prepare their bodies, for a really healthy, beautiful pregnancy, then I think you are absolutely the right place to go to. And I love that you are also offering this online. Because that makes it just so much more available, especially in those recent times.
Yes, I know my vision for my business wasn't this, but I'm so glad it's turned into this. It's great.
Same. Thank you so much, English. This has been wonderful. You are such a joy. And truly, I love the work that you are doing. And I would love to reconnect in the future and then hear all about
how my journey is going. We'll see. Pressure.
Thank you.
It's been a joy. Thank you so much for having me.
Take care. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. I know English is absolutely amazing, so make sure you check her out and get in touch with her. If you enjoyed this episode, I would be absolutely thrilled if you supported my mission to make this world, this planet, a healthier, happier, and more glowing place. And you can do this by reviewing my podcast or by giving me a 5-star rating on Apple Podcast, by following me on Spotify or on Apple Podcast, and also by recommending my podcast to a friend. I know that you were born to live your best life, to feel incredible in your beautiful body, in your brilliant mind, and in your boundless soul. So by all means, please make sure you do. I totally believe in you. I'm your biggest cheerleader. Keep glowing. Much love. I truly hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. I know I didn't promise you too much. Ashley is just beautiful. If you loved this episode as much as I did, I would be super grateful if you gave me a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, followed me on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, and shared the love by recommending the podcast to someone who you know would really benefit from it. I know that you were born to live your best life and feel incredibly wonderful in your beautiful body, in your brilliant mind, and your boundless soul. So please make sure you do. I totally believe in you. I am your biggest cheerleader. Keep glowing. Much love.